What Amazonians should know as French Cameroon returns to the one-party state. Again, the subject of the message I bring to you today is what Amazonians should know as French Cameroon returns to the one-party state. Today is March the 28th in the year of our Lord, 2023. I am Chris Ano, your comrade in arms for a free and independent Southern Cameroon's Amazonia. As it was from the beginning, so shall it be at the end, says the Holy Book. Why the Holy Book directs the inference to the end of the world as we know it, the same scripture can be said to aptly depict the turn of political events unfolding in La Republique du Cameroon at the moment. It started with the CNU party, then transformed and transitioned into the CPDM. The Cameroon state and proponents of the CPDM wanted all to believe it was a new day. They wanted the population to believe that the cronyism, the tribalism, the corruption, and the dictatorial tendencies that perverted the old order and the CNU were all over. But the transformation process didn't end with the CPDM, though it came with tremendous pressure from the political wind of change in the early 90s across the continent. In less than 8 years, from the transformation of the CNU to the CPDM, Paul Biya embraced and legalized multi-party politics in the country. Paul Biya wasn't accustomed then to rigging until now, because there was only one party, their CPDM, at every election. The result of every election was always 99.99% in favor of the only party, of course, the CPDM. At their first multi-party elections in 1992, the opposition almost beat them. They almost shared the National Assembly and Assembly seats 50-50. Even Mr. Biya had to relearn the art of rigging to succeed to stay in power in the presidential elections of the same year. Even so, opposition party politics kind of flourished, but not without increasingly losing stakes in the political landscape. Every election cycle, be it local, senatorial, or parliamentary, the opposition gradually assumed irrelevance as they retain fewer and fewer seats in both chambers and at the local level at every election. By the end of the last senatorial term, the opposition couldn't count more than 20 seats in the chamber of 100 senators. It was the same ratio, ladies and gentlemen, at the National Assembly. So this past election, La Republique du Cameroon simply said, what the hell? Let's just grab back everything from them and return to the beginning. The beginning, of course, was when they had only one political party, the CNU, and later the CPDM. So the saying, as it was from the beginning, so shall it be at the end. I am not a prophet, but I have such a great sense of discernment capable of seeing the end of anything when the signs are there. Simply put, Cameroon is back in the governing hands of the Esingan. That is what it is. Cameroon's years of fledgling gains in the democratic experiment have been reversed. Nothing exists anymore as the opposition. The SDF is now completely rubbished. Only the name is left. The real thing lies in the mortuary. It cannot be incubated. Chairman Frundi started it, and he is dying with it. Maurice Kamto once thought will take over from where the SDF failed to lead a new opposition dispensation in that country, since chicken down. Both Mr. Kamto's MRC and the SDF now have not a single representation in either of the chambers. That means that even if they should contest and by some miracle win the presidential election that may come up before the end of this year, they still cannot lead, as they will be hand-tied by a Senate and a parliament that has 100% representatives from the former ruling party. In this case will be the CPDM. That is the dilemma the people of La Republique du Cameroon face. Mr. Paul Biya, we have learned, out of compassion, will be appointing John Frundi to some honorary seat in the Senate, or better still, make him or his son the Prime Minister or member of the Senate. What this kind of arrangement does is that it is designed to forestall any Frundi-Kamto possible alliance that could shake the present order, attract international sympathies, and botch the plans to seat Frank Biya as the new benevolent despot of Cameroon. The opposition is dead. It exists only in paper. Right now, as I speak, we are learning of a military fortification of the city of Bamenda, as Chairman John Frundi is set to host some very important meeting that would garner support and endorse their secret agreement with the Paul Biya's regime. We have not been told the date of this meeting yet, but it is coming up really soon. This is the take-home message here. The regime in Yaoundé is nearing its end. The CPDM too. And what is about to happen cannot be reversed. There can be no antidote to the malaise it is about inflicting on that country. This reverse from democracy to a one-party state is essentially being housed in anticipation of assuming full and unilateral powers to squash any rebellion from the north and from the south against President Frank Biya. But the good thing is that Frank Biya, for whom all of this is being done, cannot stop the total disintegration of what is left of that geopolitical entity called Cameroon. What is happening is a stage being set for a humongous clamp-down dictatorship. They will clamp down on dissent, opposition, and popular uprising that will welcome the emergence of Frank Biya onto the political stage. But you may be wondering or asking, Chris, what is it got to do with Ambazonia? What has the death of multipartism in La Republique du Cameroon got to do with the crusade for a free and independent Southern Cameroons? How does what happens in La Republique du Cameroon political transition affect our aspiration and crusade for a free Ambazonia? It has everything, ladies and gentlemen, to do with it. It has so much to do with it. And this is what it is. If in the middle of war, a war that is now getting to its 7th year, if in the midst of it, Cameroon has the guts to end all opposition, all political opposition, all opposition, politically, all opposition, political formations in that country, I mean in the midst of war, when the eyes of everyone in the international arena are on it? Can you imagine the impunity and ruthlessness with which they will unleash their soldiers to carry out pogroms on our people for daring them all these years? Can you fathom that? But this is even bigger. The implication of what is being cooked up in Yaoundé is this: God forbid we do not win this war. The days of the CNU will be back, but even far desirable from what they will do to us today. The Southern Cameroons, as we know it, will see complete integration. This time, don't be surprised that they formally pulled down the pillars in Santa and the Mongo that mark our borders with their country. It therefore behoves upon us to win this war, else the days of second-class citizens and slavery in your own land of birth are only just about to begin. If you are lamenting that we are losing our lands to the Francophones, let me tell you this: what is left, or what is still left, will be gone if we do not fight to win this war. You are worried that they send French teachers into our classrooms. This time, the principals, discipline masters, and heads of departments will all be Francophones. Same thing with the judges, the attorney generals, or what they call the procureurs. And who knows, the clerks in our courtrooms too. They will all be Francophones. Both the common law and the Anglo-Saxon educational systems would be completely abandoned, and no one would dare to question. Victoria, Inquen, and Bamindamque would become completely Francophonized to serve as good examples of national integration. So, you will never again talk about the deep sea port in Victoria, because there is already one in Kribi. You know that. That's the reason for which they built one in Kribi. You will never again ask for Tico Airport because Douala Airport is so close. Why do you need one in Tico? They will ask. Ambazonia has an opportunity today to persevere, to endure, and to push and stop this from happening, to take back that which belongs to us. Our territory, our natural resources, our educational and legal systems, our sense of human dignity. These are the things that are at stake here. We may never find another opportunity like the one we have today. And we have made the down payment already for all of this. We have paid with the blood of our own brothers, our sisters, our mothers, our fathers, and our children too. Tell me, how can we fail them? How can we let them down? What will you tell them when you die and join them? That they died for nothing? That we surrendered? Tell me again. And I say, please tell me. If we fail, if we let La Republique du Cameroon to run away with victory, who among us is going to allow his son or daughter to pick up arms again, enter the bushes to fight? What are we going to tell our fallen generals? What am I going to tell Field Marshal the King if we should surrender, if I should surrender from this crusade? Ask yourself these questions. Who among you will want to go back to the pain and the suffering of lockdowns and ghost towns, kidnapping and ransom payments if we fail? Who among you will have his or her child stay away from school again? Who would want to leave his home, his village or town, to flee to uncertain location where they call IDPs? Who wants to be a refugee all over again? Of course, nobody. Who would want to be subjected to another uprising that would have to see the invading soldiers of La Republique du Cameroon burning down their homes, their towns and villages all over again? Nobody. That is the answer. But we have paid the price already. This is our moment. This is Ambazonia's day. It is not tomorrow, ladies and gentlemen. It is today. We must win this war. We must take back that which belongs to us now and not more tomorrow. We cannot postpone it because that day will never come again. If you sit there and all that you do is keep on grumbling and criticizing, you are not helping. You are not participating. That is not what we need. We need action. And please, stop telling people what they ought to be doing or should be doing. Pay your own due. Pay your contributions and hold leadership to account. That is what we should be doing now. The idea that, we have given so much. Some people have eaten the money, embezzled the money. Please, please, please. The sacrifices we have paid are much more than what has been embezzled, I must tell you. The only thing that we get La Republique du Cameroon fretting is firepower on the ground, and we can't let it go. That is all that matters now. Restoration fighters are desperate to fight and to free the land. But they won't fight with their bare hands. Of course they won't. We care about what is happening in the political landscape in La Republique du Cameroon. I mean the return to the one-party dictatorship, because if we are not seen to be ready or prepared to fend off their aggression and completely conquer our territory, it may be too late before we know it. That is the message. Please pass it to someone else. God bless you for listening.
Good afternoon. Today is Saturday, March the 18th, 2023. And I'm here to talk to you about the supposed conference in July. So the question is, would there actually be a conference in July of all Ambazonians or all Southern Cameroonians? Is there going to be a conference in July that will bring together all, and I mean all in uppercase letters, all Ambazonians, Southern Cameroonians? Or will there be something else? But before we draw a conclusion on this, I would like for us to take into consideration these preceding events. Some time ago, we were informed that Canada was hosting some of our quote-unquote leaders who will sit down with La Republique to find a solution to this ongoing conflict, which is going on almost 7 years now. At the time, some of us asked who was the mediator in this supposed talks, and if there have been the establishment of any modalities that will guide those talks. Even while some of us were asking these questions, that did not stop some of us from rushing there without fully understanding the agenda of those talks, who was behind them, and the commitment of La Republique du Cameroon in those talks was also not determined. But again, it did not stop some of us from rushing there. Well, at the time, some of us said, well, if they should go there, and even under those murky conditions, if they were able to secure a good framework for negotiations that can lead to the independence of the Southern Cameroons, that we were ready to accept it. It is only the results that will speak for themselves. But since attending those talks, these comrades, during those talks, decided to put in place a code of silence. That was the first indication of trouble. When nobody was going to speak as to what they were talking about, who was at the table, and who was even on the team of Ambazonia that was present at the talks. These details were kept a secret to the very people on whose behalf these talks were being held. That was the sign of some trouble in the horizon. Now, as if that was not enough, several months thereafter, after the talks were ended, the Ambazonian people waited for updates on what was discussed, the outcome, and the way forward. Again, there was silence. Nobody was saying a thing. Sometime later, we were informed that there was going to be a press conference during which the Ambazonian people were to be briefed on what was discussed in Canada. Because you remember at the time, there was a supposed agreement that was struck, and some were high-fiving and jubilating that one of the best things in this struggle had been achieved, and we were all in high spirits and in anticipation of the release of this good news that some of our comrades were jubilating about. Not long after the announcement of the press conference, it was again cancelled, and the promise was made that this conference will be rescheduled. But till now, this conference had never been rescheduled. Why? We don't know. Will it ever be rescheduled? Nobody is saying a thing. Now, after some of our comrades had proposed, and to be specific, Comrade Chris had proposed to some of these leaders or comrades who were in Canada, the idea of Ambazonians coming together to have a conference and to prepare themselves in case another opportunity should arise like the one in Canada, so that we're better prepared to sit down and to negotiate or to dialogue or whatever it is with La Republique. Some of them ran out there, took the information, ran out there and announced that they had scheduled a conference in Canada that was supposed to bring together all Ambazonians, despite the fact that no invitation was sent to all Ambazonians, but to a privileged few. Up till now, even since the announcement of the said conference in Canada, it wasn't too long before even that conference was cancelled. And thereafter, there were rumors, I should say, that the conference was now moved to Ghana. It was only rumored because nobody was saying anything in public, except one Capo Daniel, who from time to time come out to give supposed announcement without any details as to when and where the said conference was taking place or who was organizing it. Recently, the most recent update on their conference was that the date had been moved from, I think it was April previously, to now July. But there are still questions as to the actual venue of this supposed conference, or the date, or who was going to be the sponsor, the source of sponsorship for this conference. All these questions are still hanging in the air. So the question goes thus: will there actually be a conference of all Ambazonians this July? I ask this question because there is some speculation out there that the announcement of this conference was rather to torpedo the efforts by some genuine Ambazonians, stakeholders, to make sure that there was a conference of all Ambazonians so that we can get our house in order and start collaborating more, talking to each other, and especially making sure that we are better prepared for when we have to meet La Republique again at the table, so we don't allow ourselves to be deceived like we were deceived in Canada. And I believe it's not news to you that soon after some of our comrades had announced that since Canada came out later on during the process to announce that they were taking on the responsibility of mediating that conference or the talks in Canada, some of our stakeholders indicated a willingness to join those talks, which was one of the preconditions they had at the start in order to join those talks. Some of our comrades had indicated that in order to join those talks, they needed to know who was the mediator before going there. And since Canada indicated that they had taken on that responsibility, these comrades indicated a willingness to join those talks. But soon after that, days after that, I think it was 2 or 3 days after that, the communication minister of La Republique du Cameroon came out and distanced themselves from whatever was happening in Canada. And that La Republique du Cameroon did not authorize Canada or anyone else to organize a conference that was supposed to look into the conflict between their country and Ambazonia. Since then, there has been complete silence as to the way forward. From time to time, we get speculations that the conference will be re-engaged. But till now that we speak, nothing has happened. So the question is this again: will there be a conference this July? It is becoming more apparent that the announcement, the announcement for this conference that was hastily done without due consultations, even with some of the members that are supposed to be, that are purported to appear on a list naming those to attend there, that even some of these members were never consulted before that announcement was made, that they didn't even know about it, that this was just the idea of some individual or individuals to put the information out there without the necessary consultations or preparations to make sure that such a conference actually would take place. So the question is this a game? Is this a ploy to sabotage the holding of a genuine conference to bring Ambazonians together? Is it an attempt by some to subvert the holding of a genuine conference that will bring Ambazonians together. If this is the case, then we must ask, why? Why are some people so afraid of having Ambazonians come together to put the house in order and to make sure that we are better prepared for any future negotiations with La Republique to come around? That is a question that Ambazonians must be asking themselves at this time, because there seems to be a deliberate attempt at sabotaging any genuine conference that will bring Ambazonians together to make sure they rekindle the camaraderie that existed at the start of this conflict, and so that they are better prepared to work together henceforth. So, fellow Ambazonians, the question is being asked again: is it a deliberate attempt at subverting the genuine willingness of Ambazonians to come together? And if so, why are those doing it? But not to worry, there is a genuine conference coming up this May 5th to the 7th in Washington, D.C., where all stakeholders in this conflict with La Republique du Cameroon, all Ambazonian stakeholders are invited. The door is wide open to all Ambazonians to join this conference so that we can get our house back in order and be able to strategize for a way forward in this conflict. The purported conference in July, I think, is just a ploy to prevent the Ambazonians from coming together. I don't think those who announced that conference have a genuine intention of bringing Ambazonians together. And when you take their previous failures at keeping their promise, from the promised press conference that never held, to the fact that the very negotiations that they were supposed to have been had in Canada, the details of the negotiations have never been fully revealed to Ambazonians. And we are left waiting, not knowing if there are really there's anything else that will be revealed as far as those talks are concerned. Will they be restarted, or is that it? Nobody is saying anything. And I think Ambazonians deserve to have the answers to these questions, but in the absence of which, Ambazonians need to get their house in order and to get themselves ready for future negotiations, because this conflict will not end until La Republique comes to the table. They will come to the table. It is just a matter of time. But they will certainly come to the table. So again, fellow Ambazonians, start making your preparations for May the 7th to the 10th, so that we all Ambazonians from the world over, we converge in Washington, D.C. to start talking to each other, getting our house in order, cutting our teeth and dotting our I's, because we don't want to be bamboozled again. We cannot allow ourselves to be bamboozled again. It happened in 1972 because our leaders were not prepared, they were not ready, they were not speaking with one voice. It happened recently in Canada because they didn't prepare before going there, and again, they were dribbled by La Republique. This time around, we cannot allow it to happen again. And that is why we must come together, talk to each other, put our house in order, and put the preconditions that must be met for us to sit down again with La Republique du Cameroon. So I look forward to, there is the working committee that is doing the work to put together the plan of action and all the prerequisites to make sure that that conference is a successful venture. So, fellow Ambazonians, you know who to contact in your RGA or county. Talk to those there, and they will direct you to the right persons to reach if you want to be part of this initiative. I just wanted us to be clear and not to be deceived when people say there's a conference and they don't give you any details about it. That is just a smokescreen to deceive us so that we fail to hold the real conference. Why they are afraid of sitting together with Ambazonians is best known to them. Probably they don't want to answer some questions that they may deem difficult for them to answer. And that is why they don't want Ambazonians to come together and to put them in a position where they may have to explain things they have done that are not very good for our revolution. So again, thank you for listening. We will continue to bring you more information on this upcoming conference in the days ahead as the mobilization goes on. So have a blessed day.
Southern Cameroonians, Ambazonian. Greetings for everybody. We almost enter a new month, and we get to use different strategies and for survive for this we struggle for independence. I want to thank Secretary Chris. He message we passed on yesterday regarding the one-party system for La Republique. I think be well analyzed. I want to thank this brother way there as an activist where they make video regarding our struggle. An independent activist. I want to thank those Ambazonian line, the guys and where they bring message, daily update of what did happen. So once I thank you people very much. For people where they don't know about this struggle, I think time don't reach for all Southern Cameroonians. They may they join their hand, they join their resources, join ideas. We share ideas and knowledge so that we will reach our goal of independence. For that said, I want to talk some important thing we understand for this struggle. My name na Mula Wunja, and I've been an activist and at the work again for Ambazonian people under the interim government headed by Comrade in Arms, Secretary Chris Anu. Yes, I dey support only the right thing and the good things. I know the supporting way is bad. I need supporting way they make me get pain, make people they feel pains. I need support anybody where they talk, where they bring afflictions and other type of painful things for we people them where they already face them. I don't come because sometimes when we talk, people they feel say we hate some particular people them. No. We they talk because one made they fix things and may we succeed for way to the plan of action make it work. We don't get a lot of complaint about Mr. Ayabacho Lucas. Mr. Ayabacho Lucas and he surrogates and a gang of criminals where they out only for destroy this struggle, for make we people make them feel pains, for kill we own people them, for extort them, take their small money where they get them, where they manage, where they no even get in for chop. Mommy them where they go for bush, whether for rain or for sun. They go for bush, forget their plantain or harvest their small cocoyam or cassava, then they can sell them. Where they use them for manage their own small life because of the situation where they go on. Then Mr. Ayabacho and Capo Daniel and the other gang of criminals, they therefore put tax and block roads. Say we people must pay before they pass, go for their own village or town or market. Wow! Wow! Is that why we were fighting? If that is the reason we were fighting, then let's stop the fight. If the reason now say we extort with people, we suffer with people, we kill with own people them instead of the enemy, then may we stop the fight. May we stop them. May all man put his hand up. We say, Papa God, sorry for waiting we start them. Because I know feel say people go be inhuman. Despite all waiting we people they go through. Despite all the suffering Southern Cameroon and Bazonia they go through. Despite all the suffering we poor people they go through. Some people they for extortion, making themselves rich because of the name of the war, Southern Cameroon's Ambazonian War of Independence. Ma tell you something, Mr. Yaba. Let me tell you, me and somebody I don't pamper people, okay? Even my own family, anybody will make rubbish, I put you out and I tell you who are you and the action where I go take them. It go be too drastic. All right. I want make her for una clear. ADF they define war. They define war because one they know the fight La Republique. Secondly, they know the fight the enemy. They only there for kill we own people them since this war starts. They get na generals and way they call them supreme general, but they are all thieves, criminals. Supreme generals and we na thieves, criminals. Now ADF get them. Now ADF their own general than that. They call that general Efang. No one day he never kill one army or one day he close one camp for La Republique military base like other general them, Field Marshal, late Field Marshal the king, late the other IK them, generals them, all those other generals them, I vote them where they don't die. He never ever do one thing. Higher see the take na hillocks, the tonton, the chop and drink with military people where they work civilian. They license amber people. Now the supreme general that way Capo Daniel, this idiot, where they for a come up for some small dirty village. He can't disturb the whole struggle. Say he be chief in command. Yes, now me at the talk. Ma tell una something. Una get lucky. I know they for that position where I fit declare war for una. If I were the head of the interim government, I will declare war on ADF. Ambazonian Restoration Forces will fight you people first before we go to the enemy. And this war must start in this Europe. This war, I'm declaring this to all ADF members or anybody when are ADF or supporters or surrogates where it there around me. Don't talk about ADF because you are creating war between me and you. This war must start from here. I repeat myself, any ADF person where you there Europe, any place I meet you, you declare yourself like ADF, war will start from this Europe, me and you. I'm not afraid. I'm not afraid. I have declared the war in Europe between ADF and Ambazonians, the real Ambazonians. I have declared it. I don't get that power for declare the war for ground zero. I for declare the war between ADF and Ambazonian restoration fighters. They take you people out of that area. Clear you people out like how they clear La Republique. This pampering is too much. Somebody has to do something to stop this idiot. Say Ayabacho. They have to stop this idiot, this fool. If you people don't stop this guy will do the worst if we get this independent. They have to stop him now. And I have declared war. Anywhere I met Ayabacho in this Europe, you people will see it on TV. Either he will kill me or I will kill him. That's the truth. I've declared it. Because this guy, what he's doing in this world, you people are just watching. This guy have killed a lot of our brothers and sisters. This guy have done a lot of evil things. You are only there saying, Ayabacho, we have to declare war on these ADF guys. In this Europe first. In this Europe. Before something will be done. Because before this madness will stop. Let's stop this nonsense of saying, oh, Ayabacho have done this. How long? Since 6 years, Ayabacho start attacking Sesiseko. Since 6 years, going to 7 years, all of you are there just saying, Ayabacho. We have to declare war in Europe. If all of us want to go to prison, let us go to prison. It's too much. It's too much. Who is afraid of prison? What of those who have been killed? When you people want to talk, they say, oh, I don't want to show my face because they will take me to prison. God punish all of you. You people don't know what you want. Anywhere, I'm declaring it. Anybody who is ADF, if you see me, don't talk about ADF. If you talk about ADF, I bring fight and scatter the whole of that area. Till you people will stop that madness you are doing on ground zero to our people. Before you will learn a lesson. I've declared war on ADF. I've told you I'm not in the position of declaring war on ground zero. I would have done that. I would have said that from today, any ADF fighter they see, they wipe him. They wipe all of them. Till they will learn a lesson. That's what they have to do. Because every time you people are just pampering these people, they are more worse than even La Republique. They are more dangerous. Which person will be heartless to go and collect an old woman who have struggled to carry a plantain and sold it for, let's say, even 1,000 francs, gather her money for about 10 trips for 10 days or 20 days, having that 10,000 and give you as a tax. Let the Lord Jesus Christ punish all of you. Let that wind of the angels swallow you and put into the pit of hell. Demons. My name is Mola Wonja. I've told you people, any ADF person, I'm not going to any conference ADF is attending. Your people are pampering these idiots. Because when they say negotiation, he will run there and make his signature. Signature for what? He's fighting what? He's fighting who? Is he not representative for La Republique? He is a representative of La Republique. Ayabacho is a representative. You want to call collaboration conference. For what? He come like who? As a La Republique representative. We have to be careful. Yes, I've said it. And let it be so. Thank you.
Good morning. Today is Tuesday, March the 28th, 2023. I would like to bring to you this information, fellow Ambazonians. La Republique du Cameroon, having failed to defeat our ARFs, has now resorted to propaganda and lies meant to deceive you and our civilian population about the state of the war. They have now resorted to paying actors and actresses to pretend like they are talking from the ground and sending out fake audios and videos, some claiming that our ARFs, especially referring to our ARFs in Bali, that some have deserted the fight and that the general, I'm talking about General Grandpa of Bali, that he has taken some money and run away, and that he has even instructed some of his fighters to drop their sticks and run away. Fellow Ambazonians, listen to me and listen to me clearly. This is all manipulation. This is all propaganda coming from the enemy, La Republique du Cameroon. I can assure you that I have communicated with those that matter in the camp of the Buffaloes, and they have told me that this information is completely fake, that it is all lies and manipulations coming from La Republique du Cameroon. Grandpa is very much in place. His fighters are very much in place. They are taking stock of everything that is going on around them. And they are, if any retreat that is being made is only tactical, they are very much informed. They are observing everything. And in the days ahead, you will hear from them. So do not be deterred. Do not be concerned. Do not worry. On the contrary, if you have any support to give to the Buffaloes, send your support to them. They need your support. They are standing strong, they're standing firm, and they are still very much determined to make sure that the Bali land is completely free of these colonial invaders. You must understand that La Republique du Cameroon, with the conspiracy of Nijon Frundi, who has now become a